What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the MR2 build. We went today to go pick up the K20z1 Type S motor that we had laying in the other garage. This motor came out of my boy's RSX Type S. He was driving it, I forgot where he was going. He just told me he was driving it somewhere and the car ran perfectly fine. Once he got to where it was going, he turned it off, tried to turn it back on, the car never started again. So we went ahead and ordered a new motor through OKQ, and I put that new motor into the car. I stayed with this motor. This was supposed to be the core for the new motor, but instead I paid the money I had to pay and stayed with the motor just in case we could use this for something else. And here's the day that we're gonna use it. So we went ahead, we picked up the K20 out of the other garage. Today, we're gonna go ahead, take off the valve cover and see if this jump timing, and this could be the only reason why this motor did not want to start. Hopefully it did, because it would crank. It would crank and try to start, but it never started. So it either could be it lost compression or it jumped timing. So that's what we're gonna jump on to do today. We cleaned up the whole side where the MR2 is. I wanted to clean this up so I could have a plain canvas where to work. I have a box where I have spare parts that was in the car, like the fuse box and wiring that I showed you guys in the previous video. I kind of messed up a little bit though. I should have cleaned out the car before cleaning up the floor, because now I know there's going to be a lot of mess when I wash the car and everything else. So I messed up there. But here we have the K20. I don't even know what K20 is. K20 something. We'll figure that out later. But completely dirty. It's been sitting in storage for a few months already. So this whole motor has to be cleaned up, checked over completely before anything. I'm thinking that we're gonna go ahead and put the K-swap in the car first, run it on the track a few times, get the hang of it, see where we're sitting power-wise, maneuver-wise, and suspension-wise, everything with the car before we actually throw the turbo kit on it, because the turbo kit, it's a pretty big turbo. We're putting a pretty big turbo on this with a stock motor. Only head studs and head gasket, timing chain and all that, that's gonna be done. But the block is not going to be taken apart, and the head's not going to be taken apart. So, that being said, it's going to be a big... We're going to be putting a lot of power to this car, especially on a small car like this. I want to be able to drive it on the track a few times, run it a few times, probably like 3 or 4 times on the track while I get all the parts racked up for when we go boosted. This car should be boosted by the end of the summer, and should be able to run on the track with the turbo on it a few times, and hopefully, probably other tracks as well. I don't know. It all depends what Angel's doing. Angel decides to go to Florida because his brother's trying to convince him to go to Florida. We might be taking this up to Florida and running it over there as well, just for fun. But as I said, I messed up though. I really did mess up. I should have cleaned out the car and then cleaned the floor. It would have been the right thing to do. But back to the motor. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take the valve cover off the motor. I have no tripod, so it's gonna be a little bit hard. I have no tripod. I have to stop trying recording with the phone. Tripod's over there, but it's missing one piece. So as of right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take off the valve cover, take out spark plugs, coil packs, all that, and try to spin the motor, see if the motor still spins good without any issues. This car's still here, so I don't want you guys to think that this is not an ongoing project, but I don't know what's going on with this. I'm going to grab my little handy-dandy table where we're going to be putting everything that we take off. I had to turn on a fan, I'm sorry, because it's extremely hot here. We're going to put the handy-dandy table around here somewhere, just so I can start throwing parts on top of the table, like the valve cover and all the bolts and all that. So let's open this up, flip it over, and bam, this table has went through a lot. All right, I'm gonna go bring my 10mm and start taking this apart. So it's gonna be kind of hard to record and start taking it apart at the same time, but let's start off like this. And this. Jesus Christ. Okay, that can stay there. Anyways, we're going to take off the coil packs, take off all the valve cover bolts, remove the valve cover, we're going to put it over there, and see how it looks on the inside. We got the valve cover off. Now, the goal here is to be able to line these cams here. Each one of these cams has a little slot in which there's a pin that goes into them. Now, the goal is, if we can get these pins lined up on both cams exactly at the right spot, the motor's still in timing, which means that we lost compression inside. I'm a little afraid to find out what could be wrong with this, because if this is the problem, then we have to go through and take apart this motor. If not, we're gonna have to buy a full swap. I wasn't planning on buying a full swap because I was trying to put this together as cheap as possible, including this motor. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna spin it, and let's pray that it works how I'm planning. All right, so I went ahead, spun the motor through the 19mm right here on the crank pulley, and bad news is they line up perfectly where they have to be on both cams. So at this point, I already messaged Angel trying to figure out exactly what else it could be and go from there, to be honest. I'm gonna keep spinning and see if I hear compression in every single cylinder. If not, then we can automatically tell that we lost compression. I just spun the motor completely multiple times, and every cylinder so far has compression. Angel's telling me that it could be that there was a bad sensor, and my mistake when I did the swap for my boy, I did not run the check engine light on the car. So exactly, we didn't know what was going on. He told me the car didn't run. He thinks he needed a new motor, and he wanted to go Type R no matter what. So at the end of the day, we did the swap thinking that he wanted to do the new motor no matter what. So I never really ran the check engine light on the car. Now, without running that check engine light on the car, we don't know exactly why the car didn't start. Angel's telling me it could have been cam sensor, VTC, one of the VTCs. Could be multiple things. He's telling me what the plan is. We're gonna go ahead, put the head studs, the head gasket, and throw the motor in, probably with a new timing chain and tension. We're gonna throw the motor in like that and wish for the best when the motor's in the car. Once the motor's in the car, we'll check the cam sensors and all the other sensors on the motor, see what could have been that didn't let the car run. But so far, looks like the motor is really, really healthy. I am gonna go ahead, I'm gonna order the head gasket, head studs, and timing chain, tension, all that whole stuff over there. I'm not gonna put the new oil pump in because this motor only had like 140,000 miles, but all the other stuff is good to do, just for the simple fact that this motor is gonna be beat the hell out of. Go ahead, I'm gonna take the valve cover, put it back on the motor, and leave that alone for the rest of the day. We're probably gonna go ahead now, check out what's missing on the car and what's not missing on the car, what exactly we have to do and what we don't have to do. As I told you guys in the previous video, I am gonna need the non-turbo hubs for the rear, which is gonna be a little bit of a headache because the previous owner did take it and put it on his, and he put the turbo setup on this. I've been looking and looking, I haven't found any so far for the turbo setup, for the non-turbo setup, and there's a whole bunch of wires and stuff hanging back here. Still trying to figure out exactly how the cooling system is gonna work on this car because there is no cooling lines at all. And then we also gotta look into what turbo manifold we're gonna use, because depending on the turbo manifold that we use, there's gonna be a whole bunch of different things that we have to go with in the car. Now, and we're gonna look through the top, see exactly what we have and what we don't have. The rear hubs, no matter what, since we gotta change them, I am gonna be putting the extended studs because the car is gonna be on slicks. Not right now, but it is gonna be on slicks eventually. There's a lot of body work that has to get done, like right here. One thing I didn't tell you guys was that we did find another MR2 for parts. It is automatic, same body style, same year, everything. That one is in way fresher condition. It is a shell. It doesn't have the. He has the motor and trans, but he bought the motor and trans separately. So that I was looking into buying today, but we haven't came into an agreement on the price that he wants for the shell. Well, he knows the price that he wants. I know the price that I want to pay. So we're fighting between what's gonna go on there. I personally want to pay $500 for the shell because I'm pretty much going to use it for parts. If not, I'll use that shell to use as a K-series shell and this one for parts for that one. Because that one, but the only thing is, with that one, he doesn't have the non-turbo rear brake setup. They took that off the car. Same thing that happened to this one. I'm pretty sure the previous owner for that one did the same exact thing. But he does have all the factory wiring and everything else inside the car, which is something that I would like to use as a visual for all this wiring that's in the engine bay in the front, because there's a whole bunch of shit here that I don't even know where it goes to. But what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna see if I can clean up as much as I can from the engine bay and start throwing out a whole bunch of stuff from the back and cleaning up the car as best as we can. So tomorrow we can come in and wash the whole car and make it look nice, for the fact that like that we can see what's actually wrong with the car. And in the engine bay of the car, there is a whole shit ton of wiring that's over there. All the loom, like I said before, was cut out. I'm pretty sure that's where the battery goes right there, but all the loom was cut out, and there's just wires laying everywhere. I don't know where half of these wires gets connected to, and I'm still trying to figure everything out here. I do want to go ahead, see if I can move all this out the way. I'm going to remove that ground from there, move everything out the way, and see if I can clean up as much as I can. I don't have a vacuum cleaner here, so if I had the vacuum, it'd be easier. We would have vacuumed everything out and then power washed it later on. I think I'm going to drill a few holes because I want to power wash this. I might drill 4 holes so the water can get drained through in the front. Inside isn't that bad. I did get a new steering wheel for the car just to be able to move it in and out of the garage, but I took the hub just because it was missing the bolts and never brought it back. It's still in the truck. Now, in the back, we have calipers and a lot of wires as well. Looking at the Hux Racing wiring that they have, they said we have to send out this wiring complete from here to the side kick panel all the way in the driver's side. And to be honest, this one was already hacked up, so I might buy a new one just so I can send that out with send it out to Hux Racing so they can send me back the K-swap ready body harness. What I was telling you guys before about the turbo manifold, if I use a sidewinder, the turbo will sit on this side right here. Now if I use a top mount turbo manifold, K-series turbo manifold, I would have to cut this out, which means that this whole firewall on the back right here would be gone, and then like that it would be exposed all the way to over here where we can set up the intercooler and all that other stuff, and we can actually shoot the exhaust through here like Angel was saying. I did see some videos on that and it looks really good, not gonna lie, instead of dumping it right out through the hood. I think we are going to be doing it through here and doing the top mount turbo manifold. Even though we have to cut this out, we'll probably make something so that the body can still stay firm. But there's a lot of trash in here. Looking at this carefully, there is a lot of trash in here. We have radios, like I said, we got radios that probably don't even work, but I'm still gonna keep just in case. Those calipers can go. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a bag and start throwing stuff inside the bag, and hopefully I don't get bit by anything or cut by anything. All right, so before I decided to go ahead and clean up the whole trunk and the hood setup and all that, I had a little picture in mind. I wanted to see how the K-swap would look inside the car. Not the K-swap, the K-motor, because I still don't have a trans or a clutch kit or none of that stuff. Just the K-motor. Just want to see how the car would look with a K in it. And I rolled the whole motor, slid it underneath the car, and dropped the car over the motor. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty good. But it's just, I find it weird that the motor sits in the position that it sits. I'm going to show you guys the motor real quick. Weird that the motor sits in this position. Like, from sitting like this, you could tell the exhaust is on the back, facing the back of the car, and the intake is facing the front of the car, which is the same way that it sits in. Yeah, this motor is supposed to be more that way. Now that I realize this motor is supposed to sit more that way. Well, oh well. No, this motor is supposed to sit more that way. Trans sits on this side. The intake sits on that side, which means the throttle body would be right here. Turbo manifold, if I use a sidewinder, turbo will sit right here as well. So these two pipings were supposed to run forward if this was sitting inside the TSX, but instead they're going to run backwards because the intercooler, I heard, it might be back here. If not, it might be in the front. Not exactly sure about that yet. But if I use the top mount, the turbo will sit right about up here, or just a little bit more that way. Intercooler piping might slide down and in through the firewall, and exhaust as well will go through there, and wastegate as well will go straight through the back. That's if I use the top mount. Now, if I use a sidewinder, the whole setup will be completely different. So that's where we're going to sit down, me and Angel, tomorrow, figure that out, what we're going to do with that. But this motor, yeah, like I said, it's supposed to sit way more down that way. And not going to lie, like it says there, I had a dream to run 10 seconds. I have a dream to run 10 seconds. I've never ran on the track. I've never at all raced anything on the track, nothing at all. I've never had anything fast enough to run 10 seconds, or even, I don't know, I never even ran the TSX to find out how much the TSX ran. But this is going to be the first track car that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be more of a street / track. Angel said not to do a straight track because it won't, if I decide to sell it, I won't be able to sell it. So it's going to be a street / track car. I'm going to go back to original plan. I'm going to go ahead and clean out the trunk, clean out the engine bay, and clean out the front engine bay as well, as much as I can, figure out what's missing, what's not missing. Hopefully tomorrow I might order the K-swap mounts, so I can have that here whenever I want to drop the motor in and start test fitting things. I could do that. from there, like I said, I do want to connect power to the car. I don't know if the car has power at all. I did find the power cable, just no ground, so that means I'm gonna have to ground it somewhere else. By looking at that, I don't even think that positive cable that's in the front is connected to anything besides just running straight to the back of the car. So things like that is what I want to sit down and look at. That's why I wish I had the other MR2, because if I had the other MR2, I'd be able to figure out how exactly that works. I'm gonna go through some pictures and see if I find how the power works on this car. All right, so I went ahead, cleaned up as much as I could here. I don't have the vacuum, like I said, so I won't be able to take everything out completely. But tomorrow I will bring the vacuum and completely vacuum everything out. I have everything useful in this box, or kind of useful. Have the fuse box, both rear calipers, the latch for the front, some wiring, some trims and stuff like that were missing. I found inside the car and in the back. So, the car's pretty much cleaned up and ready to go. Besides, like I said, I gotta vacuum it and power wash everything else. In the front here, I didn't take off much, but I'll do that tomorrow because it's extremely late right now. What I'm thinking about doing is either, if I have the chance tomorrow, I could talk to the guy, grab that whole other MR2 shell, and pull everything I need off of that one and put it into this one. Would be amazing. If not, I can't grab that one, then I'm gonna go ahead and start ordering new harnesses for this car. Like this whole harness, I want to get brand new, just because it was cut up and I don't know what's missing, what's not missing. And the rear harness I need to get as well, that comes all the way up to this kick panel, which is what Hux Racing is asking for to complete the harness, the K-swap harness for this car. So might as well just go ahead. If I can't grab the car tomorrow, I'm going to use the money that I was going to use towards that car and order the harnesses for this, and probably order the K-swap mounts as well, like I said. But I'm going to conclude this video here because I am extremely tired. We did make a lot of progress today. We cleaned up the front, cleaned up the back, brought the motor to the garage, checked out the motor. Motor checks out good, and we know that everything here is good. Now, what we gotta look for is find either a EP3 K20A3 trans or an RSX base model K20A3 trans as well. One of the two would work, and we need as well 02 to 04 engine harness, RSX Type S engine harness, and 02 to 04 shifter box with shifter cables as well. That's everything that we're going to be missing for the K-swap. Everything else is dumb stuff I can get, like the clutch kit, starter, alternators, belts. Those things I can get on my own. Just noticed that I was recording the car the whole entire time of me talking. But like I said, all those things I can get on my own. It's dumb stuff. Once tomorrow comes and I figure out if I'm going to buy the other shell or if I'm going to have to order the harnesses, we're going to go through with that. Day by day, we're going to be posting little things. Hopefully, you guys continue with the sequel on this. I do have a BMW that I'm putting back together. So I have a 325i 2006 with 142K. That's going to be going up for sale as well. I do have my G8. My Pontiac G8 should be done tomorrow. When this video is posted, that Pontiac G8 should be done and posted for sale as well. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram down below. If not, on Facebook, wherever you guys want to go. Or even comment down below. It is a Pontiac G8, but it's a base, so it does come with the V6. But it only has 99,000 miles, and it's 2008 or 9, but the car is in beautiful condition. The car, it looks like it was well taken care of, and it was just missing dumb stuff before I got it. So like I said, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys for all the support, and thank you for watching part 2 of this K20 MR2 build. Like I said, it's gonna be on a daily basis. We're gonna be trying to post on a daily basis for this car, because we're gonna be working on this car on a daily basis until we get it ready to go for the track. So thank you guys for all the support one more time. Peace, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.